Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are learning the chapter Human Eye and Colourful World. In the previous videos, we learned about the structure of eye, its parts, functions and certain defects of vision. Today we will learn about the refraction of light through glass prism and also the phenomena like dispersion, scattering, etc. So let's dive into the topic. Let's now learn about the refraction of light through a glass prism. Previously, we have learned about the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. So in that case, suppose this is the incident ray. The incident ray is supposed to go this way, right? But in that case, what happened? When it entered from air to glass, air is a rarer medium, optically rarer medium, glass is a denser medium, it bent towards the normal. Again, at this surface, it is going from a denser medium, that is glass, to a rarer medium, air. So it is moving away from the normal. So the incident ray and this ray is called the emergent ray. Coming out is the emergent ray. So this incident ray and the emergent ray are parallel, but they are not at the same position. There is a lateral displacement happened here. So this is the refraction through rectangular glass slab. There was a lateral displacement of the emergent ray, but it is parallel to the refracted or the incident ray. Okay. Now coming to the glass prism. Suppose by seeing this picture, we have a notion that it is like a triangular pyramid-like structure, but it's not actually like that. It is like here is two triangles are there like this. Okay, so here what happens? Here there is a rectangular side. Opposite to that there is another rectangular side, and the bottom is also a rectangular side. So there are three rectangular parts and two triangular. So this part, these two faces are triangular. Okay, so that's why we are showing like this triangular part. Now, if there is a ray obliquely falling on this, okay, so what can we call this? Suppose if I name this as P and this point as E. I am using the alphabets in the textbook. So this is PE is the incident ray or the ray of incidence. But here there is a normal. Normal means what? 90 degree. So to this line, this is 90 degree. You can see here it is 90 degree. So again, you know that it is from air, it is going into glass. That is rarer medium to denser medium. So supposed to go like this, but instead of that, it bent towards the normal. So this is the normal. After ending, it will bend towards. It was supposed to be here, but it bent towards the normal. And here it is again going out. But this time from glass to air, that is from denser to rarer. So here again there is a normal. Normal means 90 degree to this side. So now it is from denser to rarer. So it is going away from the normal. This is the normal, but it is going away from the normal. So suppose if I mark S, this FS is the emergent ray. Then EF is the refracted ray. Okay. So now there is a ray falling on the surface of this prism or the lateral side of the prism, making an angle with the normal. This is the normal. So between the normal and the incident ray, there is an angle forming. This angle is angle of incidence. Now, since it is going from rarer to denser medium, it is bending towards the normal. So, it is going as EF. Now, here also, it is going from denser to rarer. So, it is moving away from the normal, making the emergent ray FS. So, between the normal and the emergent ray, this angle is called the angle of emergence. Okay, now, see, this ray was supposed to go this way, but now it is here. Okay, so this much it has bent. Okay, it was supposed to go this way, it bent this much angle. So that angle is called the angle of deviation. The amount of deviation happened to that incident ray, after refracting through a glass prism. Okay, so to find out this angle, we can produce this ray backwards and meet with this. So this is the angle of deviation. Clear? So the glass prism, when the light is falling, it is bending towards the base. So instead of going straight, it is bending towards the base of this prism. So the emergent ray is towards the base of the prism. So this diagram is important. You should learn to mark all the incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray, angle of deviation, angle of incidence, angle of emergence. We are familiar with the spectrum of light, that is 7 colors in the spectrum, VIBGYOR. VIBGYOR is a mnemonics, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. These many colors are there hidden inside our white light. So when this white light is becoming these 7 different colors, or it forms 7 different colors, that process is called a dispersion. So now we are going to see dispersion of white light by a glass prism. In the previous phenomenon was refraction, means when light enters from optically denser medium or a rarer medium into the other one, the direction of light changes in the second because the velocity of the light changes. But here we are talking about not refraction, but the light is splitting up into its component colors, that is called a dispersion. So suppose this is the white light falling on it. Here we are talking about white light. So we know that it has to go through the prism, but what will happen? This will disperse into its 7 component colors. Okay, 7 colors it split into, that because it is undergoing this refraction, and here again at this phase each light ray is bending. So in the previous one we saw only as one single line because that was monochromatic light. Mono means single. Okay, so there was a single color only present in that, but here it is a white light. It's a combination of 7 different colors. So we can see that these are the 7 colors like a VIBGYOR. But where to mark V, where to mark R? So when we start, we have to start from bottom. VIBGYOR. Okay, so red is at the top and violet at the bottom. Why violet is at the bottom, red is on top? Can we write the other way? No. Why? Because when it is passing through this, red is bending the least. The least bending happens to the red light, whereas violet bends the most. Okay, violet is bending the most, red is bending the least. Because of that, this is violet is coming towards the base of the prism, whereas red is on the top. In between the other colors, above violet will come indigo, which is also bending high, but not as much as the violet. Then blue also can bend highly. Then bending capacity decreases. Green is lesser, yellow is lesser, orange is even lesser, and when it comes to red, it is the least. So when you are drawing this diagram, you have to be really careful because violet and red you have to mark correctly, and also these 7 lines you have to show, and make sure that you are putting the arrow to show the rays also. So this is the incident ray. When it is passing through the prism, it is dispersing or it is splitting into 7 component colors, and that is called the dispersion of the white light. So this was first discovered by Newton. You know Newton's color disc, you all must have done it in smaller classes. A disc with the 7 colors will be painted on that, and when we are rotating it faster, it turns, and as a result we will be able to see only one color, that is white. All 7 colors merge into a single color to our eyes, that is white light. So if you split this white light or any natural sunlight or white light, we get all the 7 colors back. Why are we getting these 7 colors when we pass the white light through the glass prism? Because the different colors or the rays of light are bending at different angles so that they can be seen separately. As we saw, red is bending the least and violet the most. So each one is bending at a different angle with respect to the incident ray, so we can see them clearly. Okay, so this was first seen by Isaac Newton. So he naturally had a tendency to find out whether these colors have further colors hidden in them. So in order to identify that, he tried to pass them through another glass prism, but he did not see any further color. So in the second experiment, what he did was, he kept one prism just inverted to the first one. Okay, the first one was kept, second one was kept in the opposite direction. That means suppose this is the first one, then the second one was kept like this. Okay, suppose this is the incident ray. We know this is split into 7 colors. This is red, this is violet. In this we are not drawing all the colors, we are just showing the first and the last, red and violet. Now when it is coming out, what are they supposed to do? Because whenever a light is passing through a prism, it bends towards the base we saw. So the red will be bending little, not like the violet, but violet will be bending more. So in this case, suppose we show bending more. Okay, so in this case, after entering into this, now again what happens? The refraction will happen. These two will again undergo refraction, because again red is bending the least, violet is bending the most, and they join and come out as a single white light. So through the second prism, when we pass these 7 component colors of the white light, they fuse to form the white light again. So from this, Newton confirmed that white light consists of 7 different colors. So these 7 beams of colors in white light is called a spectrum. That's why we use spectrum of colors. Okay, so white light has 7 component colors. So these colors are called a spectrum. When the 7 different spectra of spectrum, plural spectra. So when these spectra are separating out from white light, when it is passing through a glass prism, we call that phenomenon as dispersion. So hope you got it. Refraction means when the light is entering from one medium to the other with a different optical density, the direction of the light changes in the second medium with respect to the first one, because the velocity is changing. Okay, that is refraction. When light is passed through a glass prism, it splits into 7 component colors. That is called the dispersion process, and the colors or bands are called a spectrum of colors or spectra. With this phenomena in mind, we can explain different atmospheric processes happening. So one of the fascinating processes happening in the atmosphere is rainbow. We are all fascinated with rainbows. I don't think any of us have learned a textbook without a rainbow picture in our primary classes. We all had one subject or the other, at least one rainbow picture would be there on the cover page of the textbook, right? So rainbow is so even now at any age we are so happy to see the rainbow on the sky, because it's a very rare phenomenon. Can we see rainbow always? No. We can see rainbow only after a shower. Shower means what? After a small rain. Okay, what happens during rain? Water is falling, so amount of water droplets in the atmosphere will be high at that time. So that is one of the reasons for the rainbow formation. Second is the presence of sun. So sun should be behind you, and you will see the rainbow opposite to your direction of the sun. That means the sun will be behind you and you will see the rainbow in front. If you have been to Niagara Falls, there you can see the rainbow because of the water coming out of this fall, huge fall it is. Always there is a rainbow formation. So we can go by ferry to near the Niagara Falls, and there we can see the beautiful rainbow. Because of this phenomenon. There it is not the natural shower that is forming, but the droplets coming out of the waterfall. So whenever there is water droplet only, rainbow is forming. What is the significance of water droplets here? How can water form rainbow? We learned when the light is passing through a prism, white light passes through a glass prism, it splits into its 7 colors. In rainbow also we are seeing the same colors, 7 colors of light. So here what is happening? The water molecule is acting like a prism. We don't have any glass prism here. The same water molecule suspended in the air acting as a prism, and the dispersion is happening through it to make us see the 7 different colors distinctly. But it is not only dispersion happening here, there are a few more phenomena associated here. So let's take the water droplet. It is inevitable in this process. Without water droplet, no rainbow. Then who is providing the light? The sunlight is there. So the sunlight is falling on the raindrop, that is the water molecule, which is acting as a prism. Okay, so this is the water molecule. It's not water molecule, water droplet, we can say droplet acting as a prism because it is transparent, right? Now when it is entering from air to the glass, that means here it is the prism water, what is happening? Refraction will happen because the medium optical density is changing, so there will definitely be a refraction. Okay, so along with refraction, what will also happen? Dispersion also will happen. Red to violet it will split. So inside what is called happening? Dispersion. Okay, now after reaching here, there will happen another reflection. What is reflection? Bouncing back of light is called a reflection. So the light will bounce back, that is called a internal reflection. And finally this comes out, again at this position the next refraction happens because it is from denser medium to rarer medium. So first, when the light is entering from the air to a prism made up of water molecule, there is a refraction happening. Along with the refraction, there is dispersion happening where the light will split into 7 different components. Then happens the internal reflection, and when it is coming out of the glass prism to the air, again refraction will happen. So with all this, when we are looking from here, for us we can see the 7 different colors. Okay, so this is called a the rainbow formation. So this is a very important question. Along with that, you should practice the diagram also well, and you have to write these 4 phenomena: refraction, dispersion, internal reflection, and again dispersion. Have you ever seen any object or the other side of the fire or very hot air? Sometimes it happens in certain movies, not now, maybe 10-20 years back movies, 80s, 90s movies, maybe the hero is introduced coming from in a bike from a height, or maybe from other side of the bridge. So since he is coming on to a height, first he will not be visible, then slowly he comes up, but the road will be very hot, so that he is not seen clearly, like a flickering effect only we get. Otherwise, over a flame, if you see a tree on the other side, we might see the tree flickering. What is this phenomenon called? This is due to atmospheric refraction. In the atmosphere, continuously refraction is happening. Always you have to keep in mind that never the atmospheric condition is the same. Okay, it keeps on changing. The physical condition of atmosphere is not stable because there is wind flowing. That means that time it will take some air with it, new air will come to the place. There may be dust particles suspended at one point of time. There may be water molecules at some other point of time. There may be smoke in the atmosphere, or the heat or the temperature variations can also make the air lighter or heavy. All these phenomena are happening which are not known to our eyes or not known to our senses, but it keeps changing. So keep in mind that. Okay. So naturally, when the air is getting hotter, what happens? It becomes lighter, or the less dense it becomes, and the refractive index of that air becomes less. But the air above will be cooler air, right? It with the high density or high refractive index also. But this is not staged. So when we are seeing through a air which is having less the refractive index, but it is not staying there. That hot air will move, cool air will come, that will get heated up, it will go. So it's not stationary that we are seeing through the same optical density, it keeps on changing. So since the atmospheric condition or physical condition of the atmosphere keeps changing, we will see the object as flickering. With the same objective in mind, or with the same principle in mind, we can explain one more phenomenon happening in the atmosphere, that is called a twinkling of stars. If you like my videos, please do me a favor, share it in your class group or with your friends, make them also learn the lesson with you, and give a comment if you have any doubt or suggestions. If you have not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching Biology My Passion.